Hey guys! I'm back with another video this week. This is surprising. So, like I said before, I was talking about how I just finished my freshman year of college and wanted to talk about my experience and maybe some advice I have for incoming freshmen for this year. So my freshman experience was interesting, to say the least. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. My first day, I actually moved in before my roommate did, and a lot of the people that I go to school with did. I moved in 2 days early to do something we call a pre-orientation, and on my pre-orientation we went to a garden and this really nice place around here for lunch, and it was really fun, and I met some nice people through it, and it was really nice. Just really liked it. So when I moved in, I thought my room was going to be 1,000 times bigger than it was. My room was really small. Well, not really small, but it's what we call my roommate and I called it a trouble, which was a room for 3 people, or triple, but there was only 2 of us. So luckily enough, we could not fit another person in there, and they did not try. I moved in, it was smaller than I thought. I didn't have an actual, like, closet, I guess. They were, like, not built into the wall. So, but luckily enough, because I got there first before my roommate, I did talk to her about this beforehand, and I moved in on a Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday, yes, and she moved in on a Friday, but it was nice. I got to pick my bed first, and since it was a triple, we had a single and a bunk bed, and I got the single. So I was very happy about that. Saying goodbye to my parents wasn't that hard. It really wasn't. I mean, my college is only 20 minutes away from my house, and my mom works down the street from the college, so it didn't really affect me any. There was one hardship I dealt with the first day, and I'd rather not talk about that. My transition to college was smoother, like first day. It was nicer, the fact that I had a couple days in my room before my roommate came. It was just easy for me to get used to the room before she got there. It was great, but when she got there, I was very happy. Yeah, my roommate and I were a lot alike. I think here's a picture of us. We look a lot alike, except she's blonde and shorter than me. Yeah. But I met her on the Friday, freshman move-in, and so met her family, and it was a really, really, really good thing that we were paired up together. It really was. Like, we worked really well together, and I'm very, very happy about that. It was hard transitioning from living by myself in my own room at home to finally living with someone that I barely know. But I got used to it. Luckily enough, our school had a really, really good roommate questionnaire and matched us up really, really well. Like, I've heard some horror stories about roommates from, like, watching movies or, like, hearing from my own friends or other stories from my friends. Like, just awful stories, and I'm just very happy I got a roommate that I work really, really well with freshman year. But my problem transition-wise was more, like, classes are a little bit, like, different than high school. Because, like, in high school I was so used to having class every single day, so I, like, did my homework every single day for the next class. College is not like that. My schedule was, like, I would have classes, this is probably what most colleges do anyway, it's like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Friday, just Monday, just Thursday. It was really interesting. And it was interesting to get used to, like, homework-wise. I mean, homework-wise, it wasn't that bad, but, like, figuring out which day it is and figuring out which class you have to go to was the interesting thing. So there's something really, really smart you should have on this guy. There is an app, well, it comes with the phone, it's called Calendars, and I would suggest putting your class times on your phone. So what I did was I put mine on through my laptop because I also have a MacBook, and what it did, and I transferred it to my phone, and I would get a text alert 15 or 30 minutes before, 30 I believe, 30 minutes before I have to go to class to tell myself, get your butt out of bed and go to class. So that was interesting. Other transition I had to deal with was getting used to having people live near me. If you probably don't know this, I'm an only child, so I don't really live with anyone besides my parents. Well, now I do, but before, I've never lived with anyone else besides my parents. And going to college, you have people living above you, under you, or next door. So for me, I was in the basement of my building, which was the worst thing in the world. I will get to why in a little bit. But I had people above me, and that way from me, and that way from me. Well, maybe not that way from me, but like down and around. It was interesting. But yeah, I got used to that after a while. Okay, I might just go into the story now. My dorm building was not the best place to live my freshman year. I mean, it was a full freshman building. What did you expect? Kids were away from their parents for the first time, probably. So, of course, things went on a lot. Especially people living above me and next door to me. They were very loud. Let's just say because of college, I cannot sing the song Turn Down for What anymore.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
So, oh well, but my freshman year's over with. So my first semester, I had easier classes than my second semester, but my experience was and here, this is why. So, my classes, I had, I believe, 7 classes first semester, and one of them, like, a few of them were only 1 day a week, 3 of them were only 1 day a week, and one of them was only 1.5 credits, so, and the other was 1. So, and credits, each school is different, so I'll just leave it at my school. The max you can get for a class is probably 3 unless you're biology major, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting, but whatever. Anyway, I had 3 one-day classes and a lot of 2 days classes. I'm not going to tell you what my major is, clearly, and I'm not going to tell you where I use it. So, I had 2 classes for my major, one at like 11 o'clock in the morning. That's not so bad. One at 8:15 in the morning, which was pretty bad for me because I'm not a morning person. Not at all. And that consists of me getting up at 7:30 while my roommate got to sleep in. I had a math class, which I hate math, but I did pretty well in it, so happy about that, and I'm done with math, so. What else did I have? I was part of something my school has where you live with a bunch of people that you have classes with. So my classes were all movies and like TV show related. And I had 2 of those classes. Well, no, actually one of them this semester, or first semester. It was like intro to like film art or something like that. And honestly, it wasn't my favorite class in the entire world, but sometimes you have to deal with those classes that you must take, that you don't like. You'll get through them. I also had, I'm not sure if every school does this, but all the schools around me do this. It's a freshman seminar, and I have some interesting stories about that class. So, my freshman seminar was on Thursdays at like 1:55. Yeah, college times are different. They're not exactly on time, just to let you know. Yeah, mine was at 1:55 on a Thursday every week, and I feel like I've only had like 5 or 6 classes of that all semester. Our professor usually didn't show up to class or canceled for some reason, and the only reason I found that to be a problem was because it's when I had my 8:15 class in the morning, and afterwards I would fall asleep and then would have to wake up afterwards just because I thought I had class, and when I didn't, I got mad and went back to bed until I had my 4:35 class that day. So it was interesting. Yeah, this professor was also my advisor, but he was a good teacher. Like, he was good at teaching. He just wasn't my favorite advisor. I like the advisor I have now better because it's for my major anyway. I also had choir because I like to sing. And yeah, I had an English class where we did something really interesting. We did something with role playing instead of doing lectures, which I thought was fun. So yeah, my classes were great. My social life freshman first semester was awful. I had a few friends. I stuck around in our room more than anything. I tried auditioning for the fall play, but because of one of my classes, I couldn't be in it. So that was very interesting, I guess. Yeah, I had a few friends. Mostly hung out with my roommate all the time first semester. And we had one friend of ours, but it felt like I had zero social life freshman semester. First semester, I should say. It was sad. I felt homesick sometimes. Well, not really homesick. I want to call it loneliness sometimes. For specific reasons that I'd rather not talk about, but I did, honestly. I had those moments, and they just weren't fun. But hey, there are ways to get over them. Remember, you are not alone at all. You always have your friends and family from home too. And I always talk to my friends and family from home, of course. Why wouldn't I? I mean, that's what Skype and Facebook are for, right? Exactly for that. So, yep. My first semester, yeah. I will say, I do live in the northeast part of the United States, so of course I was affected a lot by snow, and that transitions into my second semester too. Starting at the end of first semester, we started to get a lot of snow days, and of course I didn't mind by then. It got worse over the school year. It just was not fun. Snow ruined everything for me. I guess that's what you can say. But my freshman first semester ended very well. I could have done better in some of my classes, but hey, what you gonna do? It was all A's and B's, so still good for me. I ended up with a 3.3, I believe, first semester, which is pretty good considering transitioning and all. Second semester was a lot better, although we had more snow days second semester. In total, we had I want to say 10 snow days second semester, all within the span of 4 or 5 weeks. Maybe not 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 3 or 2 or 3. I remember specifically one night, it was like, I was going to bed at like 2 in the morning at school, by the way, which you should not do unless you're doing work. Just for me, I was on Netflix all the time, so that's a really, really, really bad idea. Get your schoolwork done. Don't procrastinate. Don't do what I say, not as I do, because I am a procrastinator, and that's bad. So, yeah, I was probably on Netflix, and then talking to people before I went to bed. And then 3 o'clock rolls around, and I'm still trying to go to bed, and our power goes off in our building. Well, first off, my roommate and I knew we were having another snow day. We already had one that Monday, and we only had class on Tuesday, and our only Tuesday class, I believe, was canceled that day? Possibly. Oh, yes, it was, because, yes, it was canceled that Tuesday. So basically, I didn't have class all week. Well, I shouldn't have said that, but Wednesday, 3 o'clock in the morning, our power goes out, turns back on, goes out, turns back on, and I actually saw a blue light from my window. And our window was in the middle of nowhere, and I still saw a blue light. That means something was wrong. So my entire building goes up to the top floor, figure out what's wrong, and we found out our generator blew. So most of us all went back to bed. Almost our entire campus had no power. So we woke up around like noon, no power still. I had a flashlight battery powered thing going on, and then got food, which was a really bad idea because it was like freezing rain by then, and I walked outside. That was a really bad idea. What else happened? Then we were stuck there all day. I got my roommate coffee. That's basically the story there. Came back, and we stayed in our room all day trying to figure out what to do. I had my laptop. She had her laptop. We were playing music on there. Well, no, it was probably almost around 6, actually. Our RA comes around, knocks on our doors, and says, "You guys have 15 minutes to get out, because this building, there's going to be no power all weekend, so we're just kicking you out." So I was like, okay. They told us our options were we either go stay in one of the buildings that did have power or go home, and since I was only 20 minutes away, I went home. And this was a Wednesday, and I didn't come back until that Sunday, so that was an interesting story. And then next week, snow days again too, but yeah, snow kind of ruined my second semester. In my classes, I actually had 5 classes last semester, and a lot of them were affected by snow days. My classes this semester had one major class, and the rest were all gen eds. So I had another math class, a computer class, and a couple of gen eds. Something about this semester which was interesting, one of my gen eds was actually a class all on Breaking Bad, which I thought was interesting. That class brought me into the Breaking Bad fandom, so my roommate and I were on Facebook all the time, sending each other things from one of the pages from Breaking Bad, and it's hilarious. So that's one good thing that came out of college. I got into Breaking Bad, even though some of the episodes were awful and I didn't like them. But anyway, I ended up second semester getting into our school musical, which I love. I met some more friends there. I actually found my roommate I didn't really find her, but because I knew her beforehand, but I now, because of our musical, I have a roommate for this semester, this upcoming semester. My roommate is going to be rooming with my 2 other friends, which I can't wait because they're living in the building next door to us. And I now have my other new roommate, who I've known for years now, living with me next year. So, but I met some new friends because of the musical, and can't wait to do some more shows with them next year. Friends, second semester. One of my friends unfortunately had to leave campus, but afterwards I found another group of friends who were also in my major, so that's great. And we did a lot of fun things this summer, what did I say? School year. I've learned, I had so many different experiences second semester. I should have had first semester though. But yeah, so my college experience was fun. I did a lot of things that I probably normally wouldn't do, like go walk outside in the pouring rain. I've walked outside a few times in thunderstorms. That was interesting. Sort of. I was afraid for my life. I met some new people, of course. Yeah. Things like that. Next year is going to be interesting for me. Like I said, I'm moving into a different building now. The sophomores on my campus get to live in houses, which I think is cool. So I'm going to be living in the houses with my roommate, and then my other friends and my former roommate will be living in the house next door to us. And I have a friend transferring to my school next year, which I can't wait for. And my friend of mine coming back next year after leaving campus for second semester. So this is going to be a really fun year for me, and I hope hearing about my experience will help you a little bit, help calm yourselves, because trust me, I wish I had one of these when I was going to college. I have some tips, definitely, for freshman year. Number one is to be yourself. Not change because of the people you meet. I did not do that. I did not change. Look where it got me. I have great friends now. Number two, definitely do your work. You're there. You're paying so much money to go to school there. Why waste it? I've heard stories about people being kicked off campus because of things like grades or something, and that's insane. So, do your work. It makes no sense to have anything less than a C in your classes in college. Being close to the point you're getting kicked out, no. I would say get some sleep, but honestly, when you're in college, you're not going to get any sleep. So that's why I suggest Starbucks or some form of caffeine to keep you awake, because that's how I survived college. I survived college on a ton of caffeine and probably ramen, because ramen's delicious. Well, not really. I only had ramen once a month. Honestly, I think I lived more off of Nutella, or Nutella, however you pronounce it. I call it Nutella, but however you pronounce it. That's what I lived off of. Starbucks and Nutella. So it's up to you what you live off of, but I suggest, if you're not a coffee person, or Starbucks person, or caffeine person in general, then I suggest sleep. Although, it's going to be pretty tough getting sleep in college. Number 3, broaden your horizons a little bit and try things you wouldn't try before. So, do things you wouldn't normally do. Don't do the same things you did in high school. That's boring. Although, really, I did the same things I did in high school, except I have friends. But try new things, go out for a club or something. Go to some of the events they have. A lot of my school, for example, has a lot of things going on during the week, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other schools do the same thing. So, I suggest going to some of them. Meet new people, do new things, stuff like that. Not be scared of the workload. Usually your workload is not as bad, especially if you're the major I am, even though I'm not going to tell you what it is, but some majors have an easier workload than others. And even if you are a major with a lot of huge workload, you can break it into different parts and work on one thing one night and do another. The other thing is to not be afraid to talk to your professors, because that's what they're there for. They're there to help you and make sure you pass. Especially if you go to a small school, because I personally go to a small school, and that you have a little bit more of an intimate feeling in your classrooms. So I would talk to your professors, definitely. If you go to a larger school, I would still try to contact your professors. I mean, that's what email's for. If you have a question, ask them. Things to consider are remember the fact that you aren't living by yourself anymore. Be very respectful to your roommate, because you want to have a good relationship with your roommate. Because if not, your living situation is going to be awful for the next year. So be very respectful to your roommate. Don't do things that would not allow them to sleep, not allow them to do their work, especially not allow them to eat or be in the room. So yes, be very, very respectful, because I've heard some stories and they are not pretty. So I hope this video has helped you, and hope that you will take my advice, and good luck to any incoming freshmen for next year. Trust me, it is not as difficult as you believe it is. It is way easier than you think, and there's no pressure. Trust me. So good luck, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!